Ah, the book under the table.
Yeah, because it's not stable.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad that I got players' handbooks for cheap. $18 for a player's handbook. That's why I bought the second.
I know those things can go up to like the 40s. Like
The retail price is $50. Go to Amazon, any of their books at $30, I would say is okay. You get something for $20, as long as it ain't one of the cruddy early adventures. It's probably a good price. Frost Maiden, the new one's going for like $25. I got it.
Frost Man.
Icewind Dale rhyme with the Frost Maiden.
Wait,
Frost Maiden.
So is all of the books like a story that you can play?
Actually no. Some of them have different, some are settings. So Ravnica, Eberron is a setting. Some of these are like Player's Handbook, similar to Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, and Xanathar's Guide, and Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Some are like monster manuals, like the monster manual. Mordenkainen and Tone and Foes is kind of like a Player's Handbook meets a monster manual. There's another monster manual thing that's out there that's kind of like, here's monstrous races you could play as, and others. But the funny thing within settings like Wildmount, you ever heard of Critical Role?
Yes.
That's their setting.
Oh.
I bought that because I wanted more monsters, different monsters. That's why I had Ravnica. And it said it has like every possible race that has came out before it. I'm like, okay, I'll pick that up.
Alrighty.
Okay. But yeah, there's a bunch of different stuff.
We got that hag.
The kid, like the orc kid or anything.
I'm wanting
curious.
to do it by day because they're probably expecting a raid by night. I want to seem friendly as possible.
It's not like I happen to have an orc child. But I guess we pretty messed up and represent it with a goblin or something.
I'm still yet to
Is it
see the next
orc
from
child?
my D&D
It is the orc child.
campaign,
The orc
which
child.
came out recently.
You haven't seen it yet?
Nope.
I'll keep it quiet. It was pretty cool. When they did the live stream, because of the premiere, I went and actually was the first person to actually comment. Well, what? I was the first guy? That's cool.
I love when that kind of stuff happens.
It's like, yes.
And then they read your comment and you're like, ah.
I had other people do that. I'm like, oh, well, you actually recognize me. We'll have a goblin represent the orc kid. We do need one to represent your familiar, but we're going to leave it as such.
Little
I don't
bunny.
have a bunny. The only bunny that they got is the one with the unicorn horn that came out recently. But
Bunnycorn.
yep. The horn. So, you guys decided to rest at the Temple of Yeats. As your spells have taken place to actually regrow some of the territory where they're not sickly and dying, but they seem to have regained health. This might give you a hint that there's at least some form of water underground still, even though there's not much sign of running water as you have ventured through Erie.
Now I'm hearing that that's a hint that there's the underwater river that's going to sweep us away. Oh, no. That does sound terrifying.
So you guys rested. You have a turn order of keeping watch.
Yeah, actually we can just say we can use her invisible house hut.
If she was willing.
If she's willing, yeah.
She is not willing to let you guys
In
hop
again.
into her invisible. Yeah, the rope trick.
Yeah.
She's like, that was a unique situation. You're not allowed in my private domain.
So yeah.
You've seen nothing.
We did not see pillows or blankets or, yeah. Well, then do you think keeping turn?
Yeah, me and you.
Okay, so it seems like one does 8, another 8, or something like that. Then that means you regain hit points.
Yay!
Trying to think how that actually works. Roll the hit die, regain how many hit from the hit die, or something to that degree. I think you get to choose how many of your hit dice you actually get to roll to. You're level 4, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say we are.
I think you're at level 4, so you can roll up to 4, but also remember at short rests, I think you can regain by spending hit die.
What's my max health now? It's not 30 now, I believe.
Yikes.
So I gain like up to.
So sorry.
It might have been the well, if it was the maximum, it would be 4d8 plus your constitution, which is plus 4 each level. So that's 16 plus whatever you rolled was your 48. I think it was 42 was the guess.
Alrighty.
So it's plus like your
But your hit points were only at. Actually, no. I think you rolled kind of poorly on the last one. The Constitution goes up. Sorry.
So it's
Should
also
we just
plus
say our
your
health is
Constitution modifier.
Every time you level up, your HP will go up. So each level you get your Constitution. So your 4. Your Constitution, if it was 1, you would have 4 in it. And then it's whatever you rolled for your. I think you rolled 6s.
my health was at 11.
So roll d6 for any additional health plus 4.
If you're healing, right? Because we didn't level up. We leveled up last time, I think.
Yeah.
You still need to add your stats from your last level, or are you just?
I'm just doing like the long rest.
Okay,
like
long
from
rest.
a rest.
You can roll as many up to your level, and then you regain what you roll. I think you add the. Yeah, let's add Constitution to the long rests. Resting ability.
Oh yeah, I believe my health was at 11.
What's your con?
Plus 1.
Okay, so you would have added 7 to. It can't go above your max HP, but what you regained.
Alright, I'd say I regained my HP back from those
Okay.
rolls.
What was your hit dice is a D8.
D8. Oh.
That, because you eventually have to roll them up. And you can choose
Foreshadow.
more than one to re-roll. You said you were at 11?
Yeah.
You want to roll more than one in your rest?
Yeah.
3. Yeah, you want to re-roll it again?
Yes.
So that would have been 7. And that would be 12 plus 7. That's a 19 more.
19.
11, that's a 30.
That makes it.
You're back. 30.
Yeah.
And you've spent 2 of your hit dice. Okay, so you've rested, she's rested, the boy's rested. So you're
The
at
cat's rested.
Cat could have probably took some time watching.
And then
to be
a
honest.
rabbit didn't rest because it's a demon.
Some sort of
It's there.
aberration. Okay, so the boy would say, if you're gonna help me go back home, we can take the old road back.
Sounds like a plan.
So
Yeah.
after about an hour of hiking from your point, you would eventually get to this sort of ravine where a lot of the plants doesn't seem to like to cover up, and there seems to be old wear down stones paving this ravine. Some jumbled where they're not the same height. And you would continue down that for maybe 2 more hours, and that's when I would want you to roll for a perception check.
Which one are you in? 20?
Yep.
Alright. 5.
That's a 17. Plus what? My
Perception would be... perception would be a stat you got. It wouldn't be one of the main ones.
Perception. Plus 1, that's 18.
Okay, so as you are walking by the middle of this, what's called the old road, you'll see through the trees above, because getting this, like this ravine that seems to wind its way through. He's going to be the first to see what looks like a lizard man stalking around, having the higher ground.
We have some stalking us, group. Don't know if it's friendly or hostile.
I take my time to...
I don't have any notes on whatever the heck this creature is.
I will
Alligator with legs.
out the blow dart.
So you're equipping your blow dart?
Before battle.
So before anything has started, you are equipped with
Blow dart with my magical free turning blow dart.
nice and write stuff out.
I'll take this time to...
Okay, all I gotta say is it's not snowing.
It is not snowing.
But there are archers.
They would be dead, well, more sickly than the ones you had before. Some sort of brush. Now, if you want to move positions on people a little differently than what we started with, to form what you more thought when you were not surrounded. That sounds really bad.
I'm going in the back.
So
My
you're
blow
going
dart.
to be the back of the group. I will be the front. We'll keep try to defend the group in the center.
And it looks like if you want to surprise this alligator, you have the opportunity.
So we're currently in a ravine, right?
Yeah.
A valley.
Probably kind of in the center. He's kind of playing defensive.
I'm going to go ahead and have my familiar pull the surprise from around there.
So your familiar will, to be honest, familiars don't really have much the ability to attack. But I'll say you have some sort of link where you can observe what they observe. And you notice that this alligator man happens to have on a leather rope an alligator in the low brush. And it's kind of smelling around.
Attack my cousin.
Okay, familiar return.
It would hop back down.
Doesn't sound good, folks.
So this is higher land where this one.
Yes, it is probably at higher points, 3 to 5 foot above. In spatial terms, it'll take an extra movement space. Because you have 30 feet, it'll take some climbing up.
I need to enchant my dart again a little bit more. I need a magic homing.
Believe it or not, this guy's got some sort of gator on a leash. We're dealing with a little more than we expected. Not sure how tough both of them are.
I don't know too much about gators. I don't live around these parts.
So, is someone gonna make a move? Are you gonna fire a dart at the lizard guy you can see? Because you can't see from the point how low to the ground the gator.
I will shoot my dart. Actually, how far can a dart go?
I think it's 120. It should
What,
be
square?
in range, yeah.
Well, then I will shoot at it.
How about you wait 1 second?
Oh?
I do have the ability of speak with animal. It allows me to comprehend and be able to speak. Maybe I can duck back at this area and take a listen if the gator is experiencing any like malicious intent,
Like getting attacked.
like
or
from
abused.
any noises it makes.
Okay, so you're gonna have
Like-
partial movement and then full action, speak with animal.
Just to listen.
For what you can get from the gator, they're on some sort of patrol around their territory, trying to stop orcs from taking what land that they particularly own right now.
Ooh.
So it sounds
I think I smell one.
Oh, no.
So we've got a problem. Guys, we've
I
got a problem
transformed
here.
into a human. Nope, there's no orcs around here.
But what about the orc child we have with us?
Oh.
You moron.
I cover him, like place him in my bag of.
You would probably definitely try to withstand being placed in a bag of holding.
Yeah.
You know, I think if it's right, yeah, bag of holding has no air.
Oh, Trace.
You'll have
I
to
leave
hold
it
his
open.
breath for a little bit.
I leave it open. Well, oh well.
Okay, so he did speak with animal. He could continue finishing movement, but other than that, Nicholas's turn would be over.
Will you even tell us that they're doing this?
Patrolman. I'm just trying to like
Alright.
convey to you, not friendly to orcs.
Boy would be like, lizardmen, the gator guys.
The gator guys.
Oh, so you've seen these guys before.
Moved on.
What if I just say, pass without the trace? And walk by and say, goodbye.
Does it only? Can you only apply you? Does it affect other people? Let me see.
Self.
Let me see. Range, self, ooh.
Yeah, just self. So no. That was a pretty good idea. At
It
least.
says, for the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet, including yourself, has an extra 10 to a dexterity stealth bonus. The range is yourself, but then it goes around you in 30 feet.
Ooh. So.
But that means
So each is 1, right? 1 feet.
But then again, the gator can smell us.
that's 5 feet each, so the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would include everyone but Nicholas.
Oh no.
You guys could move and eventually I think it
Could
would
you
affect
distract them because they're not really?
He can move back.
Oh yeah. Could you move back far enough so you can just?
Would it be my turn right now?
Didn't he use only half?
You move half your distance. You can go move, partial, attack, move again, but that normally has some issues with provoking attack. So in this situation, you could move back, and then he could cast. You gotta go within 30 feet of him, so you have to get closer to the center. closer
So
to the
how much
orc.
movement am I allowed?
You did about 15. You could move back to where you were, which would be like 1, 2, 3.
About like right here.
Yeah. That should be 30 feet if you want to use your second level spell and usher everybody, hopefully.
Getting them up to speed.
Yeah,
Like,
I want to do that.
so But the big issue is, I think it can smell us, so we need to be able to avoid the gator itself at
It'll
all
cost
costs.
10 though.
Yeah,
Against
because
this-
it has my name on it, remember?
Well, you yourself, because you are Trace, will get, I don't know, plus 11,
Ooh.
12 instead of 10 because of the irony.
Okay, I'll cast my spell.
You can say it's my signature spell. I named it after myself.
Yeah.
No.
Shambles pass without a trace.
So you're officially casting Pass Without a Trace?
Yes, and it's one action.
Yeah. So that's your other action. You want to move?
Okay, let's start. Okay, so this is blocking us from moving that farther away. So I'm going to move one.
You are using the path to go to wherever the village for the boy you have
So
to pass by. Diagonal does count as only 10 feet.
Alright. And.
I mean, 5 feet, so that's 5. You can move about 6 spaces, essentially what it is.
Alright.
1, 2, 3,
4, 5. I'm traveling.
Okay. Communicated. Let's get moving. She can stand it. This is where you and her got to roll for dexterity. Was it stealth checks? Stealth should be one of the things that you got.
Oh, stealth. What is the dexterity?
I got 8.
I got a 17 again. 18, 19. Almost
Oh.
dirty
0
20.
stealth.
Almost dirty
You
20.
have a 0 in stealth. How much?
So I got 8.
8. Well, you add 10 because you got added 10 to the stealth.
18.
So you got an 18.
A 19 with my modifier.
19 with your mod. She got a 17 but has a -1 to stealth.
Oh.
So it's a 16. This all succeeds in being enough to pass by their perceptive insight checks. So you guys can
Goodbye.
skirt past this particular encounter. Make it to the further down this old road.
So we absolutely said goodbye to that battle.
You're pretty much, yeah. This is why D&D is kind of a
Interesting game.
You can go about any situation, any
I wish I had like 5 feet with me.
But yeah.
So you will continue walking.
These guys are out here.
Yeah.
See ya.
It's not the best, but oh well. It's better to try it all first. Years of play, ever since what, 2011, 10, 2010. So that you'll continue walking down this particular, again, the old road, this winding road.
Going over.
And the orc child would be like, they're the ones that separated me from me and my brother. Our band was out hunting and they jumped us. We're separated. Then the humans got my brother and the hags got me.
Why are they so hostile to you?
It says they came out of the mountains. Maybe the tribe got too big. They need more land, maybe?
Oh, so they got overpopulated.
So a land war.
No. Yes.
It's the Americans versus
The
British.
Canadians?
The British all over again.
I'll say it's more like Native Americans versus
Versus the
the
British.
Americans.
Yeah.
The British ship. But which one? has the right to the land? Who knows?
The humans, lizard people.
It's orcs. It's humans, orcs.
Yeah. Lizard people.
Yeah, I was forgetting all about the past background or whatever. So you continue to go on, and in the sides of the this road, you'll start to notice little caverns, tunnels, and stuff popping off to the side.
I take curiosity in this. I would like to, like, observe, like, into one of those tunnels.
I want to say before you do that, you just said he came from the mountains. They have to be tunneling out of these things.
Boy will pull your coat and say, dangerous things lives in there.
So he's saying he's...
What kind of dangerous things?
Turtles can live in there. But there seem to be sometimes you try to find words to explain it. Sparklies found in those caverns.
Ooh, valuables.
Turtles and sparklers. I don't think I have a problem here. I'm gonna just check in at like 5 feet into one of those tunnels. Just a good peer.
When there's just a bunch of things that say giant and you're looking for the right giant thingy.
That doesn't sound good.
Giant turtle.
Giant
Giant
turtle
squirtle.
with cannon on its back.
Yes.
Okay, that's not just in the base monster manual. I remember halfway that this is a thing. What?
Oh yeah, that reminds
Stats.
me of like the environment dice. Or die.
I don't even know where it is at the moment. I'm so sorry. I love the idea of it, and I just can't remember where I put it at the moment.
Or maybe this. High roll on like a d20. If it's good weather, low rolls means the weather gets worse and worse, and a
giant flood in the
a
valley.
3, 2, and 1 is like storms.
If you want to, I can delegate what it ends up being. If you want to have that fun.
Alright, I'll roll d20 then.
Mhm.
Let's determine the weather at the moment. And it's nuts. It's 1.
Oh shoot! No! And you're in a hole. Imagine a flood coming by and drowning you. Oh my goodness. That's just horrible.
Can you Trace, hand me your player's handbook. I could have sworn there was like a basic, this is a turtle.
This is a giant turtle.
There's a particular turtle I'm looking for. I think it's in the back of the player's handbook because it's something that druids could become. Didn't we argue become a turtle at least once?
I believe so, for like a defensive purpose for him. During one of the fights or something.
This is the thing. This is the thing.
Hey, comment. Can you bring us up to speed on that? Which episode that was?
There isn't that many viewers of the game though.
Probably somebody.
It's not like the olden days.
Definitely not.
Okay, it is not in there. Let me check. There's gotta be one more book. I'm gonna check one more before I just make it up. If I get it from a book, I know at least it will be balanced in some form. Any guess? Probably Tomb of Annihilation. Because it's a jungle. If they don't got a turtle. I'm at loss. Nope. Okay, but to kind of resolute your weather dice of a 1, yeah, you hear thunderclap as you enter in, step in for that first 5 feet.
Well, if that isn't foreboding.
You just had to roll the dice.
I'd also like to specify that I do have the familiar on the shoulder, like, keep it like an extra pair of eyes.
It's like the familiar can see the dark.
You can see that this was a bad idea.
The familiar
Well,
leads
it's
you
a
teleports to a mysterious world.
Well, it's a black mass that's storming, so it would be able to hide a lot better in this situation.
It's a little stronger in crazy weather.
Just pick. Closest to turtle as I can get. It's the hardest thing to find in D&D. Apparently it's turtle. It's the most obscure monster you can fight. I'll just take that stat and give it a blah blah blah. Okay.
In the tunnel.
So you went into the tunnel and
Only 5 feet like into it.
you see disturbing some mud and muck is a giant alligator snapping turtle.
Oh no.
I just...
Maybe I should have looked under A for alligator snapping. But it seems to be wrapped around its jaw, its open mouth. It's not preventing it from opening its mouth. Is a silver chain, like a necklace.
They definitely are for the lizards, but for the lizards.
Silver chain around its mouth. Is it worth getting bit and losing a limb? I don't think so.
Then rain starts pouring down.
Bloody drowns the turtle.
I'm not going to say flooding it, but you're going to notice those that are outside that this old road seems to not absorb a lot of the water. It seems to settle. There's already a good 2 inches. There's a small stream flooding into the cavern.
Ah, shit.
Well, there's a
Are you wearing shoes?
I might be
Not
wearing
sandals?
sandals. I might be wearing sandals, knowing me.
Being the Pope.
Yeah.
I walk out.
You notice that there is some resistance, and it makes a bit more energy pumping up.
Oh, it's becoming complicated terrain.
Some sort of, well, because the how to put it, if you're downstream, it's hazardous treated as hazardous terrain. It may sweep you away if you decided to run in its direction.
I wanna run.
The boy pulls on Rainy's cloak and be like, "Can I go up?" And already going to like at its kneecap. And you're gonna get on her shoulders. Like, we might want to get out of here. Well, out of this
Yeah, I agree.
valley. So that's your decision. Are you guys going to climb up 5 feet to get out of the valley?
With the magical thing, rope.
No.
No, climb up the walls to get out.
To get out.
Well, I use Alter Self, and I'd say I would give myself like a jaguar claws to climb myself up.
I'll give you a bonus on your strength roll as you.
What would be really good to help?
Because it's raining and the sides are getting slick. And they're slanted in a way where it's steep, you know.
So that's a strength roll, yeah?
Yep. We're in athletics. Trying to pick one is beneficial over the other. if I was a terrible DM, I would have like a sand dial and say make a decision before it.
I don't have
shoots
athletics,
you
but I do
away.
have acrobatics, so I doubt that would count as acrobatics. Alright.
Like the strength thing. Might help.
5?
Okay, so instead of, I did say I'll give you an advantage on it. Re-roll the dice. Take which one was higher as advantage.
9.
Do you have any pluses to strength? No plus 1. You tear at the mud wall.
Is there plants on the wall?
Yes, there is. He grabs onto a vine. Your familiar jumps off your back up to the top, and as the vine breaks, you feel it gnaw on like a piece of clothing, and somehow it gives you the strength to jump up. It gave you a help to raise out. That's what you've done. What you do.
I'm going. Isn't Druidcraft to grow plants? Or since I'm a druid, I actually can do that.
Yeah.
I would like to grow the vine to be strong, hopefully, to help climb all of us up.
As you do Druid's Craft, you see the roots of the trees begin to move rapidly, and it becomes this sort of natural staircase in which you and the others climb up. Which side of the river do you want to?
Right side,
I like that idea too.
And as it's filling up, you begin to notice that this isn't a old road, but this was a old river. Smooth stone, the holes for snapping alligator turtles.
Yeah,
What they have said is a road was a dried out river due to the curse on the land.
I'm going to go ahead and climb a tree and take a look and see if there's like any nearby village where we can like stay for a night or anything resembling like shelter.
Do you remember last time we climbed a tree? Be careful. That's all I
I have
said.
check board clause now.
It does give you advantages. You can re-roll if it is for
That's a 2. That's a 10.
You say you're going to climb about halfway up the tree, and if you want to get higher up to see an advantage, but you don't see any signs of a clearing, you would have to do your roll again because of the size of the tree.
Alright, roll again. 17.
And if you did 17. So you make it up to about 3/4 up the tree. You look down, and you see a clearing further onto into the forest where there's a sizable clearing, and you see in that clearing a large black there's this flat, large black circles. There seems to be a bridge kind of across it, and it's jutting out in weird directions. Like there's one central way across, and there's like piers across this black. Can't really tell if it's a pit of some sort or if it's a giant black pudding.
I call it jumping in.
Or is it a pit of heartless, like maybe hearts too?
So.
And it looks like a giant thing of soy sauce, as described by Alexis. I climbed down. I explained what I've seen. It's a large black thing. Sounds familiar to anyone?
That is my home village. That's Tarpool.